Hello everyone, welcome to this new community show. Very glad to have you here. I hope you're all doing well. This week, I have a little bit less news to share with you. So we're going to continue to discuss about the roadmap and the future of the game with the co-host of this week, MrCoddleshire. Let's get started. MrCoddleshire, hello and welcome. Very happy to have you to the show. It's the very first time we have a discussion face-to-face almost, which is really great.
Yeah, I think the first time face-to-face, I think we've briefly talked that one time we were together with Theric on that anniversary stream, if you remember that.
Yes.
That Theric had, yeah. But this is the first official time.
Yes, exactly. And with your camera on and everything. So
yes.
That's cool.
Yes.
So, MrCoddleshire, do you mind to introduce yourself to everyone?
Hello, everyone. My name is MrCoddleshire. Everyone calls me Mr. C for short. I love MMOs. I love retro things. I love weird and quirky things. And I play all those things on my stream.
That's really cool. And you're also playing Embers Adrift on your stream by yourself, and you're also doing a show with the Nathan Napalm, right? Am I correct? Yeah, sorry, I forgot to click in the thing, so I'm repeating for you.
Yes.
So you're streaming Embers Adrift also by yourself, but you also are participating to a weekly show with the Nathan Napalm, if I'm correct.
That is correct. That's on Wednesdays. That's with Gulu Gulu, who's also in chat, and Damlos, and Nathan Napalm, and Anessa, and Dave. I think that's everyone. And if I forgot them, they'll just be angry at me.
Oh, nice. Just a question. Are you also part of the Static Group Live community?
Yes, I am. I currently stream with them Saturday mornings for a little show they have called Saturday Morning Heroes, and currently we're playing For the King. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of highs and lows, as I like to say. It gives and it takes.
Oh, that's super cool.
So it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
That's very nice. I do have a little clip to show to the community, to show what you're doing, and I found a few pearls. So let's enjoy that.
I'm gonna do Elloa. Thank you, Desrin Does, for the subscription. I'm going to use this money to buy at least one candy bar, and it's going to be very delicious, and I appreciate you. Enjoy your founder's plaque, and also enjoy those emotes. There's a couple in there. A couple you'll probably like. Thank you. Depends what I'm feeling, Depends what I'm feeling. Might go in there and pick up a noun later. Oh. What the fuck are you doing here, Elloa? It's super late. Hey, Elloa. How's it going?
Oh, Shelly. Old Shelly.
Old Dusty Shelly over there.
Old time and living with Shelly.
Yep. We made a song about her one time called Shelly Pees in Public. She doesn't care who sees.
Oh my god.
Is this...
But she didn't really. I don't think she really peed in public. Not that I'm aware of.
I mean, peeing in public...
You gotta go, you gotta go.
Peeing in public as a woman is a very bold statement.
Especially where everyone can see.
And she doesn't care who sees. That's very bold.
Haters wanna hate, lovers wanna love.
Dude, Steve, reach out to her, dude. Get some of those old songs.
Those are some interesting clips. I'll give you that. Those are some very interesting clips you chose.
Yeah. Of course, I stumbled upon the one where which had the title "Elloa, look at this" or something. Well, maybe not that. But...
I think I called it like Elloa has the perfect timing or something.
Yes, that was it. So I had to look at that one. But then I stumbled really by chance. You know, I'm looking a little bit through it because I'm not watching the whole stream, obviously. I try to find a moment where there's a little bit of action or something that may be interesting. And then I heard about that. I was like, oh, I'm picking up that one. Well, I really like your sense of humor, and I think it light up the conversation and the stream. You know, like, you're making those jokes without looking like you're making any joke. It just goes like very calmly, and it's kind of
fun. I'm a master of the deadpan, as people like to say.
So let's speak a little bit about the character you are playing. You are playing there's this fantasy football character, which I remember very well because the first time we met, you participated to my duel tournament during an open weekend.
Yes.
And this was pretty fun. And then there is Mr. Pumpkin. So what are the class and how are you enjoying them, etc.?
So fantasy football, again, both these characters, I kind of made them without thinking I was going to play this game for a super long time. But fantasy football, he's a big chunky guy and he has that like that football tape across his nose. That's why he has that name. He's a brigand. He's level 50. In fact, you saw a little clip. You saw a little bit of him in that Elloa clip. And yeah, I enjoy playing him. And then also new is the Pumpkin Man, who it was just a bank until we kind of had to rally together to kind of try to help Nathan level up. And he's a Sentinel. And they're both pretty fun.
For some reason, I thought that Mr. Fantasy Football was a healer, but I got that wrong, apparently.
A lot of people thought that fantasy football was a berserker for the longest time because he's really big in stature. But no, he's a brigand.
Nice. And so which one of the two class do you prefer?
I don't know. I'd probably have to lean more towards the brigand because I just have the most experience with brigand, and I enjoy crowd control a lot, especially because a lot of groups they see 5 mobs and they panic, and then I kind of go into game mode and I kind of start CCing and start like maneuvering around, and that's what I enjoy. Yeah,
it's true that because brigand was the first character I really invested myself in. I'm usually more of a healer in other game, but the brigand felt really useful very fast. So very early you have to stun and you can already change the tide of a fight when it goes wrong. And a good brigand can always save the day.
Oh yeah. It's always good to be that. I always like being the rock star of the group.
Yeah, that's true. And which is nice that sometimes the damage dealer can have that role, because very often in other games the damage dealers are just another guy leeching from the tanks and the healers, while here you have different role and each of them can perform something really useful and supportive for the group more than just ditching damage.
Yeah.
And so what about the Sentinel? Why this one rather than the other ones?
So I went Sentinel because when I made him, I don't think there were many people playing Sentinel, and now that I've made him, there's a lot of people playing Sentinel, and that's just how it is,
Yeah, typical.
But it's like the most healery. It's got the hots, and that's more or less why I chose it, because Damlos in our group, he's the warlord, and he's got that covered for stamina regen and all that. So I decided to go more direct heals for our little quote-unquote static, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And so that's a good point. How do you play Embers more often? Are you playing it just static group, or you have a bit of both static group and random?
I kind of play it all over. It depends how I'm feeling. Usually if my friends like Gulu or Nathan, they're gonna get into a group, I'll join them. Some very rarely I'll just join a random pug. It just depends how I'm feeling. And then I solo a little bit. I try to level up my gatherings on my main, but I'm pretty terrible at it.
Okay, so you have to catch up. Grizzle Peak is not a good area for you.
Yeah, I'm still stuck in Grimstone Canyon, unfortunately, for my gatherers.
Oh, yeah. So that's a little bit hurtful when you are so behind.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
So, what do you think about Grizzle Peak? Do you enjoy that zone?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy killing the skull chevs, and I can't wait to see what is coming up in the future, especially like epic weapons or quests, and just more loot, more content, probably more quests, just more stuff.
Yeah,
we all love stuff.
That's true. We're going to speak about that in a moment, but first let's speak about the patch notes. So feel free to interrupt me when I am reading them. The patch notes. Back-end work for the upcoming free trial. That of course requires a lot of work, so we are doing that.
Yeah.
More server memory leak adjustment.
Always good.
Track down and fix a bug in the social server preventing proper status update from being sent out, incorrect online, offline status, etc. We're making a pass at all items to bring them up to current standard. There are too many changes to list, but expect more detail at the end of the month's note. Okay.
So are they changing like the individual like item stats on items, and then is that what they're kind of hinting at?
Yeah, I think this item in the roadmap, which is re-itemizing or reworking the itemization, it's going to come earlier than we thought. So there it is.
That's very good. Me and a lot of other people have been complaining about the itemization for a long time, so this is long overdue. Also commercial, but
yeah. But the itemization is a very long work because it needs to be done carefully and cautiously. And the reason why it needed to be done is because, like I explained in the previous community show, we started the game with a certain idea about the items, etc., and we had to branch out and do things a little bit different. And therefore, you had an inconsistency between the different items. So there's things that are not logical. For example, an item you will find on a 1 chevron mob that is more powerful than an item you will find on a 3 chevron mob, and that kind of things. All of that need to be corrected, but it needs a big revisit of the whole loot table of every mobs and everything. So it takes quite some time.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time, especially when you're going through a whole database like that. I know recently we had like a dagger drop in Grizzled Peaks, and it had like parry on it, and we were like, what's up with this? So it's good that these changes are coming.
Yeah. Fixed some exception was the crafting interface. Fixed a number of stuck spots as every week. Thank you for your feedback and getting stacks for us to find and correct those. Subscriber slot, bank plus cosmetic equipment slot now have a purple glow rather than changing the frame color. The frame color change will be coming soon with the item categories. Add 4px padding to bag, bank, and train container slot. Added a new solo Ember Vein loop in Noxious Bog, which is the frog Ember Vein.
Oh, so where Glenn is, basically.
Yes, that's the one. Maybe there will be a little browser for Glenn, I don't know, with some cool stuff.
Maybe.
Open wand effect icon now matches the skill icon. corrected required level on necklace of the High Ranger to match other quest rewards. Crafted gold armor color adjusted. Basic class.
Oh, that'll be good.
Yeah. Now all the wall crafting need to be some revamping. We know that, but that's another big undertaking.
Mm.
Basic class wood recipe added to vendors. Hooray! Veil armor drop rate increased. Smoldering ash animation adjusted to better match execution time. Dagger knuckle now use 3-meter range, same as other one-handed weapons. Reduce amount of Ashen Rat self-heal. Reduce level of Nocturnes outside of Forgotten Depth to match mob levels inside. Oh, that's good.
That's a good one, because those guys kill a lot of people.
Yeah, it was the trap when you enter and when you exited.
It's like, it's dark, we're gonna die.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you're loading slowly when you exit a place. So now we have a little correction that have been added where you have this kind of immunity for a while. But if you have a very slow computer, it's not enough. And you still get killed.
Well, it's good these things are changing.
Yes, exactly. Imbued crossbow visual updated. Various rare crossbow visuals have been updated, which is really good because you had the crossbow, the glacial crossbow, of course. That has been replaced already, but there was more coming into.
Those will be nice to see.
Fixed name on Hopfly mask. Exile looter rare drops made more common. Moved some Ember Drift and Ruptures in Meadowland as to not spawn so close to one another. Someone has been reported that recently with a screenshot. You had basically two things next to each other.
Yeah.
NPCs update. Bat, Gaunt, Raven, Drolsk, Redmane, Pterodile, Nocturne, Stonecoats, Blight, Mandrake, Myers, and Rat can now enter the water. Some have swim animation, others do not, but this should reduce the likelihood of players encountering Undon's Wrath near water. So a little explanation about that. So Undon's Wrath is an ability that you gain when you are quote-unquote exploiting the content. So you're out of reach from the mob cannot reach you. And this has been done so people are not exploiting, for example, standing on top of a rocks and they can kill by distance another creature that cannot reach them, because that's an exploit, right? So if you are in a situation like that, you get hit by Undone Wrath, which increase very fast when you are not moving away from that situation. And it happened also in water, because in water it was also kind of exploit technique where you're fighting mobs, you got in trouble, you go in the water, they cannot reach you and you're safe. So you cannot escape and be safe in the water. You need to find a different way. But the Undone Rat is also a very merciless spell. You cannot really escape that one, and it kills you very fast. So this is to smooth more a little bit the case where some mobs cannot reach you in the water because they cannot enter into the water, and therefore you were hit by Undone's Rat immediately, hence being killed.
Yeah, that explains a lot, because I've noticed, especially near the Undercroft where people would like to swim across, if you get aggro, those guys hit really hard.
Yeah.
If you try to go across the water.
Yeah, so running into the water to be safe is not a good tactic, but to be immediately hit by Undone's Rat is not fun either. So now those creatures can follow you in the water and continue to hit themselves to you, which will be a little bit more forgiving than Undone's Wrath.
Yeah, yeah.
And then you can still run away and try to swim faster or whatever. You have more chance to escape. added substantial improvement to NPC movement while in combat. Their positioning and move-back positioning should be far more accurate, which in turn should reduce the ice skating effect, along with further reducing any remaining cha-cha-cha, which is something...
That's always good to hear.
Yeah.
That's always good to hear.
We have been working on that before, but need to have some extra work, so we will see how it works. Adjusted the pivot point for large creatures such as the bear, raven, trolls can reach back so their visual look more natural while rotating. Tweaked turn animation for a number of creatures so they look more natural while rotating. Added alternate point for large bear to make it easier to target them from behind or the sides. Refactored how we scale NPC size to be more reliable and consistent. And adjusted how we assign a nameplate position for scaled NPCs to also be more reliable and consistent for creatures of the same type but of different sizes. Dryfoot update. Close off some under-utilized section to allow for us to increase the spawn density of the other area. So here a little note about that. I've been explaining that at some other point. So our zones are very massive, and the zone itself didn't cause any problem with the performance, but the population of the zone can cause performance if we try to populate it too much. And as the zones are very massive, and as we cannot have 2,000 mobs in it, or whatever is the quantity, we are limited in the quantity of mobs we can have. When the zones are too large, it makes feel the zone empty, and it's very annoying. And I guess you have encountered that, where you have the feeling, oh my god, there's no mobs. I'm walking here and it's so empty. This is a feedback we have received very often. And so we do not have any other solution to alleviate that problem than to reduce the size of our zone. So Middle End had been reduced very fast after launch. There's a whole mountainside that has been shortened. Retro Forest has been reduced by having a big area in the middle that has been closed off where you cannot go in. And we try to make it natural as well so it doesn't look completely weird, and to avoid also to have the feeling of having tunnels when you're not in Dreamstone Canyon. We don't even want you to feel like you are parkouring some tunnels. And so Dryfoot, the area that has been removed, is the area behind the broken tower, where you had the basilic spawning and that were serving mostly for gathering. But you didn't have a lot of quests or anything going on there.
Yeah, I think most people would be okay with losing that.
Yeah, in a way it's kind of sad. I always have my heart broken when we had to reduce the zone, but I understand it is for a bigger good. And
I'm sure there's going to be some people who are like, I met you over there and we can't go in there anymore. I'm sad.
Yeah. Well, I was the case like that. Oh, I had a long discussion with the team about it. I had to do my morning process. But there we go. So I know some people will be like me too. Where my secret stash of wood was there? Well, there you go. But I do believe that for a new player, someone that is discovering Dryfoot, it's going to be very smooth. It's not going to be weird. And the zone is very well defined. And from all area that we had to cut off, it was really the best. So I've been watching that closely because it was a subject dear to my heart. So it has been tested and approved even by me, which is saying something. Increase the spawn density of wild area, so we still managed to get a little bit of density improved, and you will see that even with the zone cut off from Dryfoot and the zone density increased, Dryfoot will still seem super large and very big, and you will still feel like you have to run a lot in it. So that's not gone. And Basilic's run entrance moved. Obviously, it had to be moved in a different place. Bulletin board update. Fixed light culling distances on bulletin board. Bulletin boards now show their name of their corresponding map tooltip, and fixed a bug that will prevent bulletin board from showing on the map upon first discovering the nearby point of interest. Task updates. Reduce the kill count for Dryfoot and Redshore Wild task. Reduce kill count for Ashen task. Reduce kill count for Grizzlepeak Bird task. Insect are now considered animal in animal kill task. Additional location information added to various tasks. Rigid mire added to Redshore Ember Drift spawn and flooded rains. Grizzlepeak Raven kill objectives changed to generic bird to include thrush. Increase Out of Exile Looter and Scavenger to spawn in Redshore. Increase the presence of Exile Hunter, Woodsman and Patrols in Redshore. Increase the presence of Hungry Wolves in Redshore. Increase the presence of Snatch Scale Stalkers in Redshore. Middle and level plus 15 Ridgeback task reduced in count, and added location information to Grimstone Canyon Raccoon task and reduce count. There it is. Like we say, those tasks will need some polishing, so your feedback is always precious. So have you done a lot of tasks, MrCoddleshire?
I haven't done many tasks, but I've done a couple. Nothing too crazy, just hey, the only complaints I really have with it is that sometimes it'll be like, hey, kill this specific, like an exile looter or an exile like whatever. And I feel like all the newer players are going to struggle with that, and they're going to struggle like, well, where is that? So they're going to have to like ask around, or maybe hopefully there's a Wikipedia entry in the Drifter wiki about it, but yeah.
Yes,
other than that, it's fine.
I think that's also one of the reasons we really appreciate the feedback, because sometimes the feedback or the correction we need to do is to have the flavor text that give you a better indication where you can look for those creatures. Because the idea with the tasks is not to have all the tasks exactly similar. So we want some which are where you have to kill more, and some where you have to look more your targets. Some will be more just smashing stuff, and other will be more exploration related. And then you will have different type of tasks that are coming soon as well, which will be completely different, where you will have to find a new location. It will be maybe lore related. Maybe you will have a silly little dance to do on the top of a mountain or whatever. And the idea is still to give you an adventure. It's not to give you something stupid and mindless that you can execute without thinking too much or whatever. It still have to be an adventure that you're doing, that you can do solo, and you don't need to have a group to help you, but you still need to encounter a little bit of teeny difficulty, right? It cannot be just that easy.
Yeah, obviously, yeah.
It will not be fun otherwise, right?
True.
Then a task will feel too much like a task.
Like just a grind.
Yeah, exactly. And which is why we also want to give enough variety, so you don't have too often the feeling of doing the same. We do not really know how people are going to react to those tasks. Maybe some will just farm that day and night, and so it needs to have a little bit of variety. Otherwise, people are going to die of boredom doing always the same stuff.
Yeah.
Are you ready now that we have been talking about all those tasks to speak about the subject, the topic of the week that you have chosen, which will be Epic Quest and Fishing and other roadmap and future of the game? MrCoddleshire, why did you choose this subject in particular?
I chose because these are really the two things that are going to draw in a lot of people, because people love, like anyone who's ever heard of EverQuest, they love their Epic Quests and EverQuest, and Epic Quests are just very valuable and they're very meaningful rewards. And depending on how Epic Quests and Epic Weapons are done in Embers Adrift, it could be amazing or it could be not so amazing, to put it like that. You know, if you get an epic weapon and it's just like, oh hey, you have a chance to do, when on a hit, you get 1 weapon damage. People are gonna be like, oh, okay, it's not worth it. But if it's amazing, people are gonna, share it and link it, and people are going, oh, how do I get that? And it's gonna cause more discussion around it, and might inspire some people to play more. So it really drives a lot of people. And the same thing with fishing. Fishing is it's just something very chill to do. It's not like hunting where you have to find corpses or you have to kill things and skin them. It's just very chill. And if there's good things to get out of it, then it might give the economy a little kick. Like, hey, I need some fish. I'm too lazy to fish, but I'm going to have someone else fish. So I'm going to buy your fish off of you. Or you have a chance to get a rare fish or a rare hunk of junk sword, and then you take that sword and then you make it into a really good sword through a series of quests.
Yeah, there's indeed a lot of things to do with fishing. But let's start first by speaking about the epic quest. For someone like me that never played epic quests, what does it entail exactly in your opinion?
So the epic quests typically are very long and involved quests. I would say that they were a little too cryptic in EQ. There's one that's like, hey, I dropped something in this entire continent, go find it. I'm not going to tell you where, but it's somewhere on this continent. Which usually ends up to this big, elaborate, boss fight, which in turn leads you to a really good piece of equipment that a lot of people used for a long time. Like the Bard epic was amazing. People still use the Cleric epic because it's clicky res. And they still hold their prestige after all this time.
Okay, nice. So, yeah, I cannot speak too much about what's going on for the epic quest in Embers Adrift. First, because I do not have the full information related to them. For example, I do not know what the items are doing, but I know that the visual of the weapon have been prepared. And I do know that it's very involved in lore. And so I think the inspiration had to truly be EverQuest. And so hopefully this will give the EverQuest player this what they want and what they are hoping for. What I can tell you is that you're going to visit some really nice location that has been created specifically for that epic quest.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah, it will start around level 30 or 35, and so I know that first you will get a weapon that can be used for everyone or every role. No, I think something you can use for everyone, and then it can define in every role, and then it will define in every class. So, but it's an evolutive item that you will be using earlier, and the final product will be for endgame.
That sounds nice. It's good to give level 30 players a bone with something like that, because typically in EverQuest, you had to... It went through a lot, and you pretty much had to be level capped, and you had to have a lot of friends to raid, and you had to be lucky to get the raid bosses, which is a whole nother thing. But yeah, I think that's nice. That's a good sentiment to where you have... Let's just say it's a stick at level 30, and then through the quests you eventually evolve it into more of a refined, glowing, beautiful weapon that you can't wait to show around in town and use all the time. Might even change how you use that class, depending on what the effect on that weapon is, or how that weapon is.
Sorry, I was reading Mazov comments. My big concerns about epic quests is in every quest there were guilds that dominated part of certain classes' epic quests, and people had to pay them or they wouldn't get the epic. I hope that doesn't happen here. Everyone who work on the epic needs assurance they will achieve it. Well, it's a little bit early for me to tell you and to assure you, no problem, no guild will be able to hold the monopoly of something, because I'm not really sure, how everything integrates. But we do not really have a community that is that way. First, we have a very small community, and I don't think this type of behavior will be really enjoyed by most of the community. And so I don't think that will happen.
I don't think it'll happen either. I think what'll happen is, because currently we have Skull Chefs, and Skull Chefs spawn around twice a week if you're lucky. Keep in mind, EQ bosses, they were once a week, sometimes more than a week. And that's why you had, and you needed like 40 people for a raid to kill some of these bosses, and it was kind of a mess at times. But I feel like in Embers, I don't think it'll be that big of a problem. I don't think people are going to really lock people out of their epic quest. Like, for example, the books, there's certain classes that get a aura book upgrade, like Lay of the Lands and Fortifying Aura for Sentinels. And usually what'll happen is, if it drops, the person who got the credit or got the loot credit or whatever, they'll invite that person in the group and they could just pick it up. So that's usually how it goes. And it wouldn't surprise me if something similar happened when these epic quests comes out.
Yeah, I think, and this is at least what I try to encourage, and we try to encourage also with the way we build the game, is to encourage collaboration, not competition. So it has really been, when we say we don't want PvP, there's obviously you cannot kill other player, but there is also this is not really a game about what guild is doing best or what people or race to be. You had the only thing that were a little bit competitive was the title that you could earn while reaching max level, but this is something that has been done after the first person became max level, and it was more like, oh, let's reward them with something so they can brag about their achievements, because they really deserve to have a kind of achievement. That's the only thing that has been done that could seemingly seems a competition, but it was not truly competition, given that it has been done when it already happened, and it has not been a carrot to really attract people. After it became one for the Juggernaut, because they were the last one to have it, but that's another story.
Yeah, this game, a lot of people, and even to some extent, like EverQuest, there was a lot of rushing around the raid bosses. Like, we got to get there, we got to get it done. And this game is just, it's a lot more slower paced. And a lot of people probably are worried, like, oh, well, you know, there's so many Skull Chefs, I'm not going to get any loot. But eventually, if you keep showing up to raids, you're going to get the loot and you're going to get the credit, no matter what you're after. That's just how it is in Embers. It's all about the long game.
Yeah, and that's what we're going to continue to do, and to foster. The reason we created this game was to create good memories and allow player to make friendship on the way. And so if we don't really want to create features that create drama, so, because we have enough drama in the world already. It's fine.
That's very true.
So, and so far so good. There had been very little drama. There had been some, obviously, but not too much, honestly. And I think it's great. And I really like the fact that everyone in the community is also acting upon that and really making an effort, I think, to collaborate and to bond with each other.
Yeah. And there's only one server on this game, so... And you can't transfer to another server that doesn't exist. So if you're a real b-hole, people are going to remember.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very true. So let's speak about the fishing then. What are your hopes with the fishing as a non-fisherman?
So what I'm hoping is obviously the ability to catch fish, but more importantly, the ability to make new, like, consumables. For example, like a fish fillet that might give, instead of stamina, or gives you stamina regen and like a little some extra, or like maybe it'll increase your weapon damage, or maybe it'll give you something else.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think that would be very nice. It'll give people a lot of variety and might inspire people to actually work up their crafting more. And like I said, just the ability to get rare, very rare stuff from fishing. I think everyone would agree that having something, even if it was like a 0.01% chance of happening, and it was a really cool, even if it was cosmetic, but it looked really cool, people would, people would go out of their way to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is really something we have been discussing internally as well. So there's so much things you can do with fishing. And maybe things will come in the game in different steps, like we have done for many other features, like the bulletin boards. We put the bulletin board and then we expand upon it. And I do think that fishing will come first in a very simple fashion where you just catch some fish and maybe you can cook the fish. And then it's going to be expanded. You could imagine to have a fishing log. You can imagine to have, like you say, rare items. I really like the idea that you were saying, where you got like a precursor of a weapon or a piece of armor that you find into the water, and then you can start a crafting quest, or a non-crafting quest, but just a quest. Or there's plenty of things that you can do with that. Or I don't know, maybe you could find keys for chest or secret location and whatnot. So there's many things you could do starting with fishing.
Like a map in a bottle. Like a map in a bottle. You get one of those.
Yeah, something like that. There's plenty of things. You could also have just lore beats, like you were saying, a map in a message in a bottle that could just give you nothing that you can really use, but it just gives you information about the world and something cool too that you can find. So yeah, definitively a lot of things. I think what's very important for the team is to create a chill and relaxing activity and not something stressful, because depending of the game, you can have fishing like the mini game that can be either very simple. You can have some that are a little bit more complex, and then you have some that are horribly stressful because they really require a lot of dexterity and timing. And I think it's counterproductive, because when you're fishing, you don't want to be stressed out. Like Stardew Valley fishing, what the heck?
I'm kind of on the other side where it's like, I don't think it should be as hard as Stardew Valley, because those Stardew Valley fish, they go, especially the legendary ones, they go all over the place. But I feel like if you catch something rare, it should like jump you out of your seat, like, oh crap, is that something huge? I'm gonna catch it. I don't know what it is, but it's gonna be good.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure how we will do. I imagine the simple World of Warcraft / Final Fantasy / ESO method is the simpler one, where you just drop your thing. Maybe you have a bait or something to make things a little bit different. There's that possibility. And then you have, which I think is probably one of the best way, the most exciting and just the right middle ground for me is New World or Palia, which has kind of the similar. So you have a fish and you have a little difficulty. You have a sort of mini game, but it's not a too stressful mini game. You just need to be a little attentive and control your stick when you are catching the fish.
Yeah, and I feel like you can't have it like EQ, because EQ had fishing, but you literally just hit a button and your guy would do an animation, and that would be that. I think you need a little something, or else people are just gonna like macro it or do bots, or I don't even know, and that could spin all other issues. So you kind of have to have a little bit of something for the players to do instead of just hitting one button.
Yeah, I agree. Need a mini game to stop macro fishing, safer balls. Yeah,
exactly.
Mazov is saying, do we know if fishing is going to be a forced gathering profession, or can anyone get it? So everyone can get it. So it's not a gathering profession. So we really wanted everyone to be able to have fishing, because everyone wants fishing, right? It will not be fun to exclude some people because they already have mining and forestry.
Yeah.
And so the idea is also to not only to have your chill, relax little activity you can do by yourself, but social event where you gather with all your friends or with your guild and you're chilling. And there's plenty of things, when I say there's plenty of things we can imagine with fishing. there's plenty of things we can imagine. Like, do you imagine you go with your group and everyone is fishing at the same time in the same spot to spawn a boss or something? That also could
Yeah,
be
you have like
really
a
fun.
little pond in a dungeon that everyone fishes at, and it spawns a boss.
Yeah.
Or you could have like events to where like, hey, these fishes are spawning for a limited time. You better, you know, or you're getting special items from fishes,
Yeah.
fishing for a limited time.
How about a challenge to fish a muck reaper in a lake? We could win more gold. Yeah, exactly. A muck reaper boss in Forgotten Depth that you need to do. Okay, World of Warcraft has done that with a mob in Serpent Shrine Cavern. And it's a really great idea because it's kind of fun. Especially, so in World of Warcraft, you know that the boss is there. But if it's just a chance, you know, you're not sure that you will get the boss that time during this Forgotten Death run.
Actually, it used to be in Zul'Gurub. I think that's the name of the raid. And you'd have to get all these special items to fish up the boss. But it wasn't really there wasn't really a fail. It's just like, did you have the items to fish it up? And if you do, then you spawn the boss.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like there's room for improvements from that.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's all great idea we can start to think of. So I do not think that when fishing is going to arrive in game, you will already have everything related to it. But it's all kind of things we can think about and that will be implemented step by step. And so that's one of the other aspect of Embers Adrift is that we had a very good different elements, different question lately in Discord. Will you do more starting zone? Will you do more this or will you do more that? And all of that are brilliant idea and stuff that we would absolutely love to do. But we're a very teeny team, therefore we can only do one thing at a time, and we do everything as best as we can to serve the community as a whole as best as we can and fixing the most important problem. So for now, we thought that what needed to be done in priority was to give some solo content for the players to do when there is no group. So what we really want to do at the moment is to correct and compensate and work with the community feel when you have a small community.
And I've always been saying this about your team, but it's like, you know, if a mysterious benefactor wanted to just drop a couple million in your direction, I don't know, maybe some magic could happen.
Well, yeah, for sure. But for now, we work with what we have, and so
yeah, obviously,
one thing at a time. And so I need to sometimes remind people because we can always reach Grant, and I am the first guilty person like this. It also had been a learning curve that I had to learn while working in this team. So I am not developing anything, but I'm still participating to the brainstorming discussion and stuff. And early on, I had all those magnificent ideas. Yes, and done. Let's do this. Let's do an astrological system. And so everyone has their sign. And so you have the position of the planets in the sky. And it will give you a different buff depending on your horoscope. Isn't that awesome? And all of that was, you know, funny and all that. But it takes time. It takes resource. It takes team effort. And it was more important to do the dungeons and simple stuff first.
Yeah, obviously you gotta do with what you know will work best, or at least what you think will work best in the long run.
Yeah, I think it requires kind of humility also, because it's easy to have grand idea and have over-ambitious project, and you need to scale them down and accept we are limited by this and that. We have a small team, we have not a lot of time, and we don't have a lot of funds. Therefore, what can we do with our resource at this moment? And
I feel like a lot of other MMOs in development have fallen into that trap where they kind of go a little too wide and a little too boisterous, and it kind of hurt them in the long run.
yeah,
So
and
it's good to realize that now.
I think it's a creative trap that you can easily do. And I think the talent is to be able to really know what you can do without completely sapping your own creativity either, because you could be too modest and then just do something boring. So you need to be able to mix up nicely things, having good ideas, and then be able to scale those ideas to your resource. And I do believe that the balance in the team is good, because you will have the dreamers in the team, and then you will have more pragmatic person like Undone that will...
I was gonna say Undone.
Yeah, we will say, but is someone very smart. It's a scientific, and so it will tell you, no, we cannot do that because of this and this and that, and that's it. And so we come on, it would be so nice, and so that worked well, because you will have all the creative mind, and then the other people that are more tinkering, like Undone is someone which is testing things. And so we have a weird way, I guess, to develop this game, and it's maybe different from other team and companies and stuff like that, but hopefully we are proving our goodwill and our efforts, and offering something fun for players to enjoy.
I have to ask, how hard did Undone shoot down the flatworm stream?
So the what? The
flatworm stream? The ones where, you know, the stream's always going, it's following
Okay.
people, chasing down the worms.
I will be very honest with you, I have not presented him this idea yet. I need to find the right moment, and it has to be...
You can't just go in hog wild. You gotta slip it in there. Oh yeah, here's crafting, flatworm stream, okay, and then
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be done subtly, and when there's an opening, not when we're working super hard on the trials and the things and the like, because
yeah.
priority will be
Trials
taken
be
as
damned. We have a stream to put on.
Yeah. But yeah, that idea is very exciting. We're going to talk about that again.
Okay.
All right, now it's time, because we have been talking a lot. That's really cool. It's very nice. But let's get some community news. What do you say about that?
Okay.
All right, for the community news, I have a very cool little extract of things to show to people. So last Saturday, we had this stream event that we are usually doing monthly to showcase the new content to the people. And so it has been a bit since, I don't know, 6 months, something like that. Every month we're gathering with the Nathan Napalm, Sparrow, Alice Blue, myself, and sometimes you have Sly Bankai or Genera the Grey or someone else. And so last Saturday we wanted to try the stream together feature from Twitch, but it didn't work out very well. So we were, like usual, separated on each of our streams and showcasing the new bulletin board. So we were not playing as a team, as a group together in a dungeon, for example. But it led to a very funny situation. So I am going to show that now.
Super strange squirrel or dolphin sounds. And see how everyone else reacts. Alright, hang on. I gotta think of how I'm gonna do it.
But with...
Gotta wait for a quiet moment.
Cool, cheesy way to explore the zone without having to run everywhere. It would cost you 5 Ember, but still.
What on earth was that?
Who did that?
I think it's maybe Alice's child.
Oh, was it? It didn't sound like a child.
A child making weird sound, maybe? I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm assuming here, I have no clue.
Weird.
For some reason, I thought it was Nathan.
It did sound like.
Yeah, it did.
Why would I do that though?
I don't know. That's why I asked.
Sure, sign of madness.
All right,
Back
off
to town?
to New Haven. Yep.
Just gate back. Please, developers, give us a gate.
Is everything okay, Alice?
Yeah,
Oh, must have been her kid.
She's
Yeah.
Hey. Huh?
Hey.
I'm back.
Okay.
Sorry, I was actually AFK. So it wasn't me, because I was muted.
So it was Nathan.
I thought it came through Nathan's channel.
Why does the blame have to go to me?
Because I saw your channel lit up.
We have video evidence.
Well, to investigate the VODs of the stream, we will have five different versions of it.
I will admit that now that I'm busted, I will admit that it was me. Chat said make a dolphin sound and see what everybody thinks.
That's what it was.
Okay.
Blame chat.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Well, he was about to allow us to throw you under the bus, Alice.
I was dying when you were like, I sound like a child, maybe making a strange sound. I was dying.
Wow.
Like, I saw your chat light up. Don't even. Oh my gosh. That better have been worth a super chat.
That was a very funny moment.
Why would he do that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I saw that live. I was dying.
Yeah, it was funny because, well, obviously after that happened, I had to check on what happened on Nathan's stream. And when I saw that, I said, okay, I need to do a mix of everything that happened and all the misunderstanding and everything because it's pretty fun.
Yeah, it was funny.
So this is one of the things I really like with the community and with the content creator in the community is those kind of relationships that are building up with each other and everyone knows each other. And it is really nice and I really want to push that even further, which is why I'm so excited to try to stream together feature because that will really help out to do collaboration between streamers. And in a group-based game like Embers Adrift, this could be really a blessing and something very fun. And we soon have the free trial event and we need to prepare and to celebrate in some way. So we'll need to start working on plotting something with all of the content creator and to do something special about that.
Ooh, something special. I don't know what it'll be.
Yeah. All right, speaking about content creator, I would like also to introduce the community to a new player that just joined us recently. He's called Vatuman, and he started to play Embers Adrift very recently. He did some stream, he did some video on YouTube. He's really enthusiastic about Embers Adrift, which is really cool. He really liked the game. And he also has been noticed by some other member of the community that bring back his video and they really enjoyed it because he had a kind of old computer. So you really have the old school style also in the video edition. You still have the square screen and things like that. So I'm going to show a little extract of the content he's providing and I will invite you guys to, if you see him live, encourage him, say hi, do not hesitate. He's already level 20 now and, you know, grouping up with members of the community and organizing groups and stuff like that. So let's see his clip.
Oh my god! Oh my god! They start to come on me. No. Oh my god, how many? Oh shit! Not again, guys! Oh shit! Okay, not again, no. Not this again, man. Oh shit! Please, no. No, I'm running, okay? No. Come on, no, shit. They're spamming confusion on me, oh my god! No! Look at how I learn to dodge the confusion, guys. Okay. No. No, man. Battletoad, right? Hi there. What are we doing? What are we doing? Battletoad and Brox is here. Battletoad and Brox is here. It's me and my friend here. We just met in game. He is a very helpful individual. This game is a new take on the MMO genre of old school type of games. It has very nice PvE mechanics. It is a game about PvE mechanics together in group. Nice atmosphere, music. The price is pretty steep right now. It's like 30 bucks. They do deliver on their promise and in making a good atmosphere, a very classical feel to it. The combat is an old school type of combat. I like it very much. You take your time in selecting skills. You don't lose your breath. You synchronize stuff with your fellow party members. The dungeons are quite an experience in this game. They are pretty hard. I've tried to make a dungeon with my friend here, and I absolutely sucked at making the dungeon. Look, there are some really nice views in the game. Look, my friend here says free trial coming end of February. So guys, really take on the free trial and try it for yourselves, man, because...
And voila, that was it for Vatuman, so check him out.
What a jolly fellow.
Yeah. His commentary is spot on, say Genra, in his video. Definitely check him out. Yeah, like I say, he was really enthusiastic about the game. It was very nice to discover him. So I hope you're watching this, Vatuman. We appreciate you. It's always nice to welcome new players, and we had quite some new players recently that have joined the community, and it's, you know, always cool to see them and to hear about them, that they are not only enjoying the game, but they also enjoy the community, that they found themselves to be helped by other players, that they receive an answer to their question and stuff like that. So to each and every one of you that are doing that, thank you guys. Thank you to do this. Thank you to spread the friendship and the nice feeling that we have in this community by being helpful with other players, welcome them warmly, and introducing them to the game in the best fashion possible, because Embers Adrift is more fun with other players. So soon a new trial. What do you think about the free trial coming in, MrCoddleshire?
I think it'll be good, because there's probably a lot of people who are on the fence, and I feel like, you know, if you get to the first dungeon, CV1, and you don't like it, then, you know, that's fair, you don't like it, but usually that's when the game really gets its hooks into you, and I hope that'll be enough to make people, you know, take the plunge.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is why we have been thinking very longly about how to do, and we wanted to give this open trial where you could try the game whenever you wanted. It was not just limited for a weekend, and the first zone cover most of what the game is offering.
Now, that said, will you be doing any free trials like in the past where, like, hey, for a weekend or for a week, you can go wherever you want, you just can't do, you would have to buy the game after the fact?
Well, now what we will be doing is to do this trial, which will stay all the time. So anyone can jump into the game and play New Haven Valley. And from that point, we will see how things goes. So that trial is not limited in time and it's not limited in level, meaning that you could, you know, stay as long as you want in New Haven Valley without paying the game. You can level your craft, you can do a lot of things, and it can take you a long time. Well, you can, if you really want to exploit everything, you can do it for a very long time. And I'm curious to see the hunting log of those people. But then if you want to continue, you will have to purchase the game. If you want to go beyond the wall, you will have to purchase the game to really experience the adventure. We just, you know, like, you don't have a monthly subscription that is imposed to you anymore. It really gives a lot of flexibility to people, and we do hope that for the people that are on the fence or thinking, yeah, I don't know if I will like this game, it's look a little bit boring on the video I've watched, that it will give them the occasion of say, okay, well, it's free anyway, so I can as well give it a go. Or maybe the friends of some other player, you know, someone say, yeah, come, I really like the game, it's super fun, join me, and they don't really want to. Here they will be able to do that. Which is why I also want to do a nice event to start up with, then I have an idea to do it a little bit differently than during our free weekend where we are streamer marathon. But I will be talking about all of that first with the content creator before to announce it publicly. But I think it's important to do something to really encourage the new player and to guide them if they're trying Embers for the first time. And then we have been thinking a lot about the security and stuff like that. And so how many gold seller and only fan promoter will join Embers just to make their commercial and spam the global chat?
I'd be surprised to see how much money people would be able to make in the first zone. I can't imagine it's a whole lot, but
no.
Gold sellers be damned, they're gonna try it.
Yeah, I don't really know. I don't think we will really attract that type of public because we're too small and the game is maybe not really easy to provide those type of service.
Yeah, it's probably not very profitable,
no.
to put it bluntly.
No, exactly. But we need to be prepared to everything. We never know.
Yeah.
So, do you know about the weekly game?
I know of it. I don't know what this week's is or was.
Oh, it will be fun. All right. To anyone wondering what I'm talking about, the weekly game is a little game that I'm organizing every week on Discord. It's just for fun. The reward is 1 gold. So if you're a low-level player, 1 gold is very precious. It can allow you to expand your inventory quite some. If you're a higher-level player, well, you know, you can do like Elder. Last time he won. Elder's a max level player, you really don't need your gold. So he's offering back his gold. So this week I will pick up 2 winners instead of just 1. And there we are. Am I in the right screen? Oh, sorry, Inception time. There we go.
Whoa.
This week, take a screenshot including yourself executing a task. Time out your screenshot well so we can see the task update on your screen, and 1 screenshot per player. So we have a few entries. Here we have Marcus, which is killing a snatch scale in the Red Shore Forest. Here we have Flub, which has killed Ashen Bat 2 on 15. There's a little story about that. A horrible draw! Lol. 15 Ashen Bat. Had to kill 20 plus bats to get this Ashen Bat for a photo. So don't worry, Flub, this week, well, next patch, those Ashen tasks will be reduced in number. Ravenheart is killing bears. Mazov is killing animals. It's always nice to have animals. Israda is playing also animals. And Mimu is killing some emberfly, ashen emberfly. Nice. So we do have 6 participation. Let's see which one will be the winner. We have 6. And I'm going to take 2 draw. So the first winner for this week. Good luck. Isn't that beautiful? It's number 2, that's Flub and his poor Ashen creator that he had so much difficulty to find.
You really earned it.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm removing your number to pick up the second one. So let's do that again. So that one winner is Elder, offering his gold. And that's number 3. Let's see what's number 3. So number 2 is Flump. There you go. And number 3 is Ravenheart. Congratulations, Ravenheart. You win again. Last week, Ravenheart was already the winner. So congratulations. You can thank Elder. So very nice. Thank you everyone for participating. This week, the game will be seasonal.
Congratulations.
Say it with flower. Offer flower or receive flowers from someone. Show off the trade window as proof. Yes, flax, cotton, and other count as flower. That's what I mean by flower. You don't have to find rose. They don't exist in the game. And you cannot cut the flowers of Middleland anyway. So let's do a little seasonal game. Let's say it with flower this week. And that's it. So, MrCoddleshire, what do you have to say to conclude this community show?
Well, looking forward to what's coming. Whatever that secret stuff may be, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, nice. You bring back the secret stuff. Do you have any idea?
I always remember the secret stuff. I always remember.
Yeah, I see that. So what do you think it might be?
I think it's whatever it is, it's going to coincide with the event that you're planning to hopefully bring more players back. Now this is going to be a long shot. This is going to be me, you know, trying to make a touchdown from the other side, but magic? Maybe? More magic? I don't know. It's something.
Okay, we will see about that. Thank you for your speculation. And MrCoddleshire, it was a pleasure to talk with you. Thank you so much for joining the show. It was really nice.
No problem, anytime.
So you guys, do not forget to follow MrCoddleshire on his Twitch channel. When are you streaming? Do you have a schedule? Do you have anything to promote? It's the time to do it.
So I currently stream on my channel, not including other channels. I stream 2 to 3 times a week, but concretely is Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific, and that's with Nathan and the gang. And then on Sundays at 6:30 Pacific time, that is when I stream like old retro stuff. Like I streamed Laser Lords on the CDI and Windows 3.1 stuff, just a bunch of weird stuff that you didn't know you wanted to see, but when you see it, you're like, I can't believe I missed out on this. So,
Nice.
So be sure to tune in for that.
Okay, that's super cool. Thank you so very much again. Everyone, thank you for watching this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're watching this on YouTube, do not hesitate to subscribe to the channel, give a like and leave a comment. Thanks to everyone who have done so last week. Be sure to check out the episode last week where we were speaking in detail about the roadmap with Sparrow. I have published it and edited it a little bit late, so if you miss out, check out the discussion. It's also very interesting. And see us live every week on Twitch TV during the maintenance when you cannot play the game anyway, so you might as well hear the news about the game, right? So see you next time. Take care, everyone. Bye bye.